still talking about mass adoption and fair market. Love it. Okay. Ali Al-Ali, technical lead at GridX. I'd love to welcome him to the stage. Oh, you just did. Ah, thanks.
Come on, guys. I know you were late for time.
Hi. Is this on? Okay. Hi, my name's Ali. I'm the technical lead at GridX, based in London. And I'm here to talk to you about an on-chain order book protocol, which is what we believe will be the catalyst for DeFi mass adoption. GridX is the first ever fully on-chain order book protocol on Ethereum. Now, to understand why that's such a big deal, we need to look at the argument between using an order book and an AMM for a DEX. So, up until now, fully on-chain DEXs like Uniswap would use an AMM model. That's an automated market maker. While other DEXs and KEXs, such as Binance and DYDX, would use an order book model. Now, we need to ask a question, why is this the case? Surely, if one of them is better, one of them has an advantage in some way, then that surely must determine which one they use. The AMM is more of an on-chain compromise, okay? It's a compromise to make the gas cost effective. Now, I would say so that the gas doesn't cost an arm and a leg, but you can still get that when volume is high. So I wouldn't say that, but this wouldn't cost an arm and a leg. This would probably cost your entire existence. So let's look at this. This is the type of exchange that we're familiar with, okay? So this is your typical KEX, okay? This is the real life equivalent of this is something like the New York Stock Exchange, okay? This is what an AMM looks like, much simpler. Okay, you've just got two tokens, you pick which way to swap it, you connect to your wallet, you press swap, and boom, you're away. This is the real life equivalent of this would be the money changer on the corner of the street. Okay, you just go in, I've got some pounds, I want some euros, they give you a rate, and you give them your pounds, they give you euros. Okay, so let's look at what do we need in a DEX. Okay, so at GridX we thought about this and we realized that there are basically two key components to create the DEX that DeFi needs. Okay, first of all, it needs to be on-chain. Second of all, it should use order books. So first of all, let's discuss why does it need to be fully on-chain. Okay, first of all, decentralization. The only way that you're going to get a truly decentralized DEX is if everything is on-chain for everyone to verify. Okay. Second thing is uptime. So if you're fully on-chain, as long as the underlying blockchain is functioning, your DEX is functioning. Okay. Well, say for example, if you've got or some sort of computation off-chain like order books, then that's in a centralized facility. Let's say that catches fire, someone shuts it down, whatever. Your DEX is now not operational. Okay, so the other thing, and this is more of a thing to do with the friction with using something that is not fully on-chain, is that you need to deposit or withdraw. Okay, well, with a fully on-chain DEX, like Uniswap, for example, you just connect to your wallet and you're off to the races. Okay, listing. On a fully on-chain DEX, it's permissionless. You want to create a pool on Uniswap. Okay, well, on other DEXs, you need to, find some sort of, maybe email the creator, coordinate with them to make a trading pair. And the most important one is composability, okay? If all of your smart contracts are live on-chain, okay, anyone can come along, they might have some, great, fantastic idea that you've never thought of. They'll come along, implement your smart contract, build on your smart contracts, and that's really what got DeFi going, using these different protocols like Lego bricks to make something great. You can't do that with other DEXs. Well, at least you need to cooperate with the owner. Okay, they might give you an API. That API needs to be maintained. If it isn't maintained, you've got a problem. So it's a lot more permission. Okay, now let's look at. We need a fully on-chain DEX. Uniswap does that, but Uniswap's an AMM. So why do you insist on not having an AMM? Well, let's look at some of the AMM pain points, okay? If you're a liquidity provider and you're providing liquidity to any volatile pair, anything other than a stablecoin pair, you're going to be prone to impermanent loss. Okay? You're always going to have high slippage because you're always going to be a taker. The reason why you're always going to be a taker is because you've got limited trading functionality. Like I said, it's a money changer. All you can do is, I've got this currency, I want to swap into that one. So you can only have taker orders. So you might think, okay, why has no one implemented an on-chain order book? The answer to that is simply gas. Okay, and we're gonna see how a traditional order book works, and you would see that the computation would be insane to have on-chain. So is there a way to reduce the gas consumption of an order book? The answer is yes, okay? And GridX achieves this. Not only achieves it, but we actually bring the gas cost down to the same levels, if not lower, than AMMs. So that's quite a bold claim. You might ask, how do we do that? So before we answer that, let's look at how a normal order book works, okay? So say, for example, you go on a CEX like Binance, they use a central limit order book. This relies on limit orders and a matching engine. This matching engine, basically, you come in as a taker, I want to make a market swap. It matches you up with a maker, someone who's put in a limit order, and to execute the swap. The problem with that is that it's very complex, okay, and involves a lot of resources, a lot of computation, and it's got variable overhead, okay, because this needs to check every single maker for a match. So the more maker orders that you've got, the more bloated the whole system is. So what do? Okay, we've reimagined an order book. We came up with the grid maker order book model. This relies on maker orders, and instead of a matching engine, relies on our grid price linear movement algorithm. Okay, what's the upshot of this? It's much simpler, involves very, very minimal resources, and the most key point is that it's a fixed overhead. It doesn't matter if we've got one maker order, 1 million, 10 million, the gas cost will be the same. Okay, so how do we do this? Well, the crux of the grid maker order book model is that instead of, say I'm a maker, instead of coming in and say I want to buy or sell at this price, instead I'll come in and say I want to buy and sell within this narrow range. Okay, and this range would really be narrow, it'd be like 0.01%. Okay, and we would allow you to place orders of any size and in any price range with zero slippage, so no slippage outside of that price range. Okay, and we reward you with negative fees for essentially providing liquidity to the order book. So how do we do this? Let's look at a typical case of the GPLM algorithm. Okay, let's say we've got this range, okay, and let's assume that we've got the current price at a lower boundary. Maker orders are coming in. These maker orders get bundled into a bundle which we'll call B0. Okay, now let's say a taker comes in, okay, and as long as that taker's order is less than the total amount in that bundle, what it will do is the taker will see this bundle as essentially just one maker order. And every single maker order in that bundle will be filled proportionately. Okay? Once that's been tapped into, any new maker orders that come in will be bundled into the next bundle, which would be B1. And this would continue so long as the current price, which increases linearly, hence grid price linear movement, as long as the current price is within that current range. So once B0 is exhausted, then it starts tapping into B1, new maker orders would be in B2, etc. ad infinitum. Once price leaves this range, then the whole process would start over again with B0. So these are some of the grids that we would provide. So you can either have ranges with resolution of 0.01% or 0.3%, etc. So let's look at, okay, how does this actually add up on chain? So you can see that with a swap in one of our grids, okay, the gas cost is actually on par with the swap in a Uniswap V3 pool. And placing a maker order is almost 3 times as cheap as adding liquidity, and collecting a maker order is about half as cheap as half as expensive as removing liquidity from Uniswap. So you can try us out. We're on testnet. You can go to d5.xyz, and this is what you'd get. This is the DEX that we need, and this is the DEX that we now have. But GridX is more than just an on-chain order book protocol. So coming in Q1 of 2024, GridX POS is going to be launching. What is GridX POS? It's a cross-chain order book protocol. It's a layer 0 blockchain, supports all of your favorite layer 1s and layer 2s, but most importantly, supports Bitcoin. So for the first time since Satoshi wrote his Bitcoin white paper, you would be able to natively trade Bitcoin, native Bitcoin, no bridges or any trust required. So the GridX protocol, though, will be deployed on Ethereum mainnet and all your favorite layer 2s in just a few weeks, and you can visit gridx.org to find out more. Thank you.